Hello everybody on More Fun Fixing It. Thank you for watching my videos. This is one of the more exciting ones for me. They're all exciting, but this is one of the more favourite things that I do in the retro hobby as a YouTuber, is going to visit places. And today I'm off to visit somewhere right on the other side of the country and at the other end of the country. I'm in the bottom right hand corner, the southeast corner, I think that's how you use directions, of the UK, and where I'm going is Leigh, in rather amusingly, in the northwest, not the very northwest, but quite far into the northwest, just between Manchester and Liverpool, somewhere over that side. And I'm off up there to visit the Northwest Computer Museum, which I've always wanted to visit ever since I saw, I think it was a couple of years ago, maybe even more, Control-Alt-Reese did a video there where he visited the place before it actually opened fully to the public, and that sparked my interest. It looks like a really brilliant place to go, and I like a vintage computer museum and retro gaming museum anyway. I jumped at the chance when somebody on the Retro Hardware Discord shared the fact that they're having a Jumble sale there, which is one of my more favourite things to do or to attend in a vintage computer museum. I've done visits to the Cambridge Museum of Computing History and Bletchley Park Computer Museum. I can't remember what they're called. They all call themselves something slightly different, and it just confuses my old brain. But yeah, this is my favourite thing to do, is going to a museum, but also picking up some retro bargains. So I've got a long drive ahead of me. It's 3 hours and 40 minutes to get there, which is better than the 5.5 hours it would have taken me if I'd left this morning. That would have been no fun at all, and looked like there were some serious problems on the road all the way there. But the roads seem really clear now. It's 7 o'clock at night, and look at this beautiful clear sky I've got now. And the sun is just going down over to my left, where it normally goes down. But I'm looking forward to the drive. I don't mind a long drive. I'll stop part of the way there for a break, and then I've got a hotel for the night and a full English breakfast booked for the morning, and then we're off to the Northwest Computer Museum. And yeah, so the first thing is the morning will be meeting up with friends there. There's quite a few people going that I know. I'll get to meet a few people that I haven't met before that I know from through the community. That will be really good fun. And after I'm not sure how long the Jumble sale will go on for. I think it will just be on all day, but it depends how much stuff they've got, how many people turn up, and whether they've got anything left to sell at the end of the day. And at the end of the day is when it's fun and interesting, because they want to move stuff, they want to get rid of stuff. So it's worth going back at the end and having a look, because there might be something you were on the fence about that might be, on offer, as it were. So between the initial rush at the start of the day and the mosey back in there at the end of the day, see if I can grab a bargain, there'll be some poking around in a retro computer museum, which will be excellent fun. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Still there. This is a good start.
Keep right to stay on A14. Continue for 12 miles.
I wanted to talk quickly about why I'm also excited about attending a retro computer Jumble sale at this particular time. And that is because I'm planning a new series in the coming months, and this is going to be running over quite a long period of time. I predict probably a year or maybe more. I'm going to start something that has the working name of Retro ladder challenge, or it might be retro challenge ladder. I'm not sure. And what that is, or what it's going to be, is I'm going to start at the bottom of the ladder, and the bottom rung of the ladder is going to be a ZX81, and the top rung of the ladder is going to be an Amiga A1200. And I've chosen those because the ZX81 is probably the cheapest second-hand retro vintage computer that you can buy, and the Amiga 1200, these are all mainstream computers. The Amiga 1200 is kind of the top of that ladder, the more expensive end of what you would expect to pay for a vintage computer. There are more expensive computers out there. There are very rare computers, and there are computers that are just more desirable for other reasons. But the Amiga 1200 was the only, or is the only real mainstream one. I mean, you could go for an Atari Falcon or something of similar vintage, but that wouldn't be very easy to purchase and would be difficult to repair and things like that. I need something that's easy to source and easy to source parts for, just as importantly, if I have to make a repair to it, and also easy to sell. So the bottom rung of the ladder, the ZX81, the cheapest that I could think of, and I have to buy that computer from wherever. It doesn't have to be, this isn't an eBay only thing. I have to buy that computer, I have to make a video about it, I have to restore it, repair it, upgrade it, whatever. Do stuff to it to make it more valuable, and then at that point, I'll add peripherals to it, and then at that point, I have to sell it. Now the ladder will have the values of each computer on each rung. Each one will have its own value. The second rung will likely be a ZX Spectrum, because they're easily bought. They're more valuable than a ZX81, and they are the natural progression up the ladder. So once I've sold the ZX81, I have to raise enough from that sale to buy the next machine. And so I'll then buy the ZX Spectrum and rinse and repeat to the next level, say an Amstrad CPC 464 or whatever it is going to be. Probably be a Spectrum Plus, actually. And we'll go on until I reach the Amiga 1200. I'll buy the Amiga 1200. We'll do it up, restore it, repair it, upgrade it, and then sell it. And once that's sold, that money will go into, will be donated to charity. Now there are some other bits along the way, some other rules that I'll have to adhere to. If I don't make a profit, if I make a loss, I have to drop down a rung and repeat the rung before. If I don't achieve enough profit from the sale to buy the next rung, then I have to repeat the same rung again. So if I've bought a Commodore 64 and the next rung, I don't know what the next rung would be. If I haven't earned enough to buy, say, an Amstrad or a ZX Spectrum Plus 3, if that's the next rung, or a Plus 2 or whatever. If I haven't made enough money to buy that second-hand item, or got the actual average price, I will have to repeat the C64 to build up the profit. I'm thinking about if because some of them are going to sell for much more than they're really worth, because it's a charity thing, and I'm hoping that that people will get on board with this and bid the things up. I'm thinking about if I make too much money, that maybe we'll have a range of a top end and a lower end for each rung. So let's say the C64 is, the low end is £40, the average will be £60, and the high end will be £80. If I've sold the previous one, which could be an Amstrad or whatever it is, whatever the previous rung was, and I make £150, then I get to keep the £80, which is the top end of the next rung, and the other £70 will go straight into the charity pot, just to keep things at the same kind of level all the way through the rungs of the ladder, all the way through the journey. So the reason that I'm excited to go to a retro jumble sale today is I've got a list of all these computers, and I've already got quite a few of them, and that's one of the reasons that I'm actually doing this series, is because a lot of stuff that was donated last year for last year's charity event is still there. I've still got an Amiga 600, for instance, and I've got an Amiga 500, and I've got 2 Commodore 64s, now 3 Commodore 64s. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit those multiples into this, but we'll see. I might just have to pick one, and then we'll sort the other ones out later. So I've got some of them. I've got the Amstrad CPC 464 that Retro Crazy Duncan donated in the first charity, or after the first charity event, and then I did a Commodore event, so I couldn't sell it in that one. So I said I was going to just get that one sold, but I've been waiting for the new SD card add-on. It's a Pico based SD loader that's being developed, and I was hoping to get hold of one of those to sell with it, to add some value to it and make it a bit more special. But that's not happened yet, and it's been quite a long time. Well, it's nearly a year later after the previous event. I think that the story of the CPC 464, which is a tool key version, nice desirable machine, will be just get it fixed up, talk about it, and sell it for charity. Well, the content of each episode is going to be a little bit of history about each machine. Hopefully I don't have to repeat too many. There'll be a little bit of what they mean to me. Maybe I'll get some special guests in to talk about what they mean to them, and we'll try and get as much community involvement in this as we can, obviously. I'm not looking for loads of donations, by the way. If I get multiples of each machine, then I'm just going to get swamped again, and I don't want that. I'm going to keep this nice and simple. So if you've got an Amiga 1200, then fair enough, but I think most of the other stuff we're going to be covered for. So yeah, again, if I've already got a machine, say I've got an Amiga 600, second-hand value of one of those to buy, probably £150, I'd say. So that's going to be that one's rung of the ladder. The previous machine has to make that £150. If I've already got the machine that's next on the rung and I make the money, then all of that money goes into the charity pot. So the charity pot will build up alongside this this whole process, and eventually we'll have a chunk of money that's in a pot waiting to be, or probably already donated to charity. I'll run a Just Giving page, and we'll be after donations as well, so that'll be part of it. And then at the end we put the Amiga 1200's money in there as well as a final thing. So at the end of each episode will end with the machine finished and ready for sale, and then it will go up for sale. So what do you think? I'll be picking up some machines today. I'm looking for a ZX81 for a start. I have got ZX81s already, but it would be nice to kick this off with me actually buying a ZX81 that we can repair together. Let me know what you think. This road's quite busy. Still moving along at a good lick. I've got 2 hours and 41 minutes to go. This is the A14. I got diverted. This is Kettering. The A14 between two junctions is closed, so it sent me off into Kettering, but all of the other cars on the dual carriageway just carried on. Nobody else turned off, and I'm wondering if this was a diversion during the day and Google Maps has just not been updated. I can imagine that this diversion was probably hell during the day, and one of the things that was contributing to the fact that the journey was going to take me 5.5 hours today rather than the 3 hours and 40 minutes it is going to, or it should do. It's just been a sign flashed up that the A14 is closed after junction 2, which I think is beyond where I'm going, but I'm not sure. What's the next junction? What's the number of the next junction? This is covered up because, oh, junction 4. So no, it's going to affect me again. Yeah, this guy here on the left with the bean can exhaust, I passed him earlier. So this time, if everybody's staying on the A14, I'm staying on the A14 when it's supposedly closed. Oh, maybe it meant junction 2 was closed. There's lights and things off on the slip road there. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, we're in the clear. 7.3 miles to go on the A14. CM6. It's a motorway, isn't it? So this is the M6 around Birmingham, and this is not the toll road. Toll road, apparently you pay for, I don't know, 10 quid or something to not sit in traffic. I think, to be fair, there are roadworks along here, so I'm in the wrong lane as well. Birmingham, eh?
Other traffic on the road, stuff at the side of the road, you know, your columns and your signs and your things like that. And it is a very authentic outrun experience, I think it's fair to say. Now, what if I told you the best part of all this is
Tell me, Reese.
free? So you can actually go and download this on itch.io for free, or you can play it in your browser if you like. And yeah, you know, this is published under the name of Rocket Ship Park. And I think while we're here, let's just have a little read of the itch.io page. So, what if Outrun came to the Game Boy Color? The Game Boy never got a version of it.
Sorry, Reese. Stuck in traffic. Second load of traffic around Birmingham. There was a workforce in road putting out cones to slow everybody down tomorrow. And shortly after that, there was a big smash. 3 or 4 cars mangled on the side of the road, and the ambulances and police cars, lots of blue lights and fire engines, really scary. And then about a mile after that, this shambles of a road. I wish I'd paid for the toll now. Never mind. It's added 25 minutes to my journey so far. My ETA is now 11 minutes past 11, and I still haven't stopped for a break yet. And to top up fuel. Basically, this sucks. It's not been a very good journey so far.
In half a mile, use the left lane to take the exit towards M6.
Yeah, anyway, it's been a horrible journey. There's been accidents and there's been a lot of roadworks and delays. I've had better drives than this out. As soon as I needed to stop and charge the car, and it poured with rain. When the car finished charging, wasn't raining. It's not raining now. Wasn't raining before I got there. Just while I needed to get out of the car to plug the charger in, which didn't work, and I had to move the car to another charger, which is always fun. Okay, let's just relax, listen to a bit more Reese, and drive off to the hotel where I can get a good night's sleep and a nice shower maybe. I think I'm going to have a shower before I go to bed. Road grime. Come on, Reese, entertain me.
The late 70s, early 80s. So, today we're opening the vault for real.
Good old
Reads
Reese.
this story over on opensource.microsoft.
Car charger. Scenic.
You have arrived.
Pretty rough journey. Didn't enjoy that very much at all. Let's go inside. I didn't record coming into the hotel like I did on some of the other road trips that I've done, but rough journey, and I just want to go to bed now. It's 25 past midnight, and I struggled to get the car charging and all sorts of things, but I have a nice room to sleep in tonight. The telly was on when I got in the room, and I thought, oh my God, somebody's in here. I expected to see some old girl asleep in the bed. I've got some nice art on the wall. That's pretty, isn't it? I like that. And oh, a nice shower. Yeah, that'll do me. Right, I'm gonna go and turn in and get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Bye. I thought it was going to be brighter than that. Yeah, not too bad a night's sleep. It's Premier Inn, and the bed's lovely, and the pillows are lovely, and wasn't too noisy. Somebody upstairs was stomping around at about 2 in the morning. But I think I've got enough in the tank to see me through the day. Mornings are never my best time, so let's see how it goes. Breakfast time.
Northwest Computer Museum may not be open yet when you arrive. Head north towards Woburn Road.
Thought that was your car, Henry.
Turn left onto Woburn Road, then turn right onto Calver Road. Make a U-turn.
What? Exit's that way. The road's right there.
Turn right onto Park Lane, then your destination will be on the left.
Here it is. Is that pointing in here? Yes, I think it is.
Make a U-turn, then turn left. Your destination is on the left.
We're here. I met a couple of retrobates in the car park. This one gave me something weird I'll show you later.
But most, you can only set 7 bits in a word. So like even 32 words is like 64 letters or something like that. Did actually, I was thinking,
Oh no, they're sleeping on the back. They're sleeping on the back. They're sleeping on the back. I mean, what? I think it's we Look, sell Xbox 360.
That's the TV module.
There's a few windows. You know,
Oh, CIA's
So what we do is
play a tape on it. Yeah.
yeah. But if you're on screen and the version put your name and signature on that, please. That's not very That's easy.
This is I'll be saying who you are.
he said there was something like, he told me something like that.
Just so. Sorry.
But I feel like you struggle anyway.
Mate.
But probably not you probably walk back anyway.
And it's for what? Yes, it ain't gonna win now in the job set. So why don't you start trying to? It might. I think it will. I don't know. I think she's all over that. That's all. She won't check it out.
Say hello, wait. Sneaking on video.
Using wise words design.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Northwest Computer Museum.
Henry.
This is still like great.
Yeah. Ew.
That's it there. No, one, two, there. Just now. I think it's there is a special four. And then we have the big supercomputers. Yeah, well, I'll give you so you've heard of books and software? Books and software.
My precious.
So you have an engineer doing books with the people.
And this name Booger is like from today.
I don't think we have. Well, actually, we do because they debug software now.
Silky mouse. Yeah, Max. Content warning. Cool game. Oh.
Oh no. Well, it's not ready yet.
No, awfully processing and refund you go on this, we have to put it back on the same pole.
So what are you doing here?
So we looked at it
Yeah, because they love the run down the comments.
lots of things.
Oh dear.
So I didn't say what? Oh, this would be one. You can also say
Still going.
So just snap really fast, and I've got a decline drawing as well. So I've got the Apple Pencil with it. For that reason.
That's the one I've got quite some time. I use it so this one starts.
Claw. Oh, it jumps all the way over here. I can't do this one-handed. This I can play one-handed. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, blip.
Space Jumble.
Thought that was going to get me.
Space General.
Space General.
For the instant no reason. Uncommanded defender, you are Space General.
I'm on my way home now, and I've got 4 hours and a bit and change plus stoppages, so I'm going to be 5 hours on the road. I'm not really looking forward to it because it was such a bad journey on the way up here. I feel okay though. I'm not too tired and I'm ready for the journey home. I'm ready to be home, but I've had such a good day.
Continue on Winnick Lane for 1.5 miles.
I've had the absolutely cracking day. mostly because of the people. I mean, the museum is a great place to visit, and you should go, especially if you're less than 5 hours away from it. You should go along and visit because they've made a great effort to get that place up and running, and it is a really, really good place to have a look around, especially with a group of friends like I had today. So I had my friends, 3 of the board folk were there. Julian Brown was there, and Chrissy Baps was there, and Dave Devilish Designs was there. He's not one of the board folk, but there was another one there who is Ian, grand old Ian, who is someone I've never met before in the flesh, but I know from online. I've given him some stuff, and he's given me some stuff, and he's just a really, really nice guy, and we had such a nice chat. He's a really, really lovely man. Thank you, Ian, for your company today. That was great. But Julian brought me some stuff. He brought me some bits and pieces, and I'm not going to spoil any of that now. I will wait until I get home and I'll show you all of the stuff that I got today. She didn't get a huge amount, but I did get some stuff for the Retro Ladder Challenge. Julian brought me something, a present for me, and it is probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but for a weird reason, not what you expect. Really, really weird, but I'll show you that on the bench. No spoilers here. But yeah, the actual Jumble sale itself was, if it was local to me, great, that would be brilliant. But I think if you're going to come 5 hours in a car and stay in a hotel, it takes a little bit of the value out of it, although you gain the value of going somewhere new and meeting some amazing people. Speaking of which, the best thing about today was shaking hands with so many people that...
There are collisions on the M6 that are causing a delay. You can avoid them and save 12 minutes. If you prefer to stay on the...
Yeah, the best thing about today was meeting so many brilliant people that really... getting to shake the hands of so many people that watch my YouTube channels and said so many nice things to me today. It really was so brilliant to see you all and to say hello and to get to see your faces, because everybody gets to see my face. Sorry about that, but I never get to see yours. Well, I say never. And it is by far my favourite thing to do, is to go to events and for people to just come up and say hello, and then we can just have a chat about things. And that happened multiple times today, and it was just, I can see why Adrian goes to so many VCFs. It's just the best thing. It's the best feeling, because making YouTube videos is kind of a lonely thing to do, although I've turned it into more of a community thing. But yeah, you don't have very much input and interaction with other people whilst you're making videos. So you don't, YouTube comments are great and everything, but actually seeing someone and them telling you what it means to them is, oh my God, it's mind-blowing. No, absolutely mind-blowing. It's so good. So anyway, thank you everybody that I got to meet today. You made the day. You made that 5-hour journey from hell worth every minute. And I don't regret the extra 5 hours I've got to drive home as well. So right, I've got a long journey now. I gotta find somewhere to stop and fuel up and get some food as well as electrons, and then get home. I want to be home. I want to be back in my workshop. I do miss my workshop. Well, I've been going 10 minutes and really, really disappointed to see we're already in traffic. Great. I might be out of wine gums. Oh, no, I've got a couple left. No. Traffic jam number 2. This one, we're on the A556. Oh, it's quite a long one. Looks like there's been a prang up ahead. According to Google, just under this bridge in the distance. Staffordshire. Traffic's gone. Got away from the M6. I don't like that road. Oh no, not got it. I'm just driving past overclockers.co.uk. So it's come up on Google Maps that there's been a smash up ahead and the roads are, it must have been a sudden downpour. Yeah, there's a smash on the other side of the road.
Just a moment.
What?
Company's coming over, so everyone act normal. All this and more coming up on This Week in Retro.
High-resolution color graphics at land of high technology. The revolution in technology that made the information age possible. Those kids are not afraid.
Use the right lane to take the M1 South Slip Road.
Welcome to the M1. It's like a straight M25.
It was a good, the channel was a great excuse to get things, to buy all the stuff I wanted to buy anyway.
No, the hell is that? Weird.
I would have failed the quiz, by the way, on what other 3 platforms was Deluxe Paint ported to. Yes, Dave.
It's traditional for me to try and bash the Amiga, so here's my attempt. You've got the Amiga with Deluxe Paint. The Atari ST had Hyper Draw. Now, Deluxe.
This is the end of the dual carriageway.
Use the left lane to take the A134 Slip Road.
Why is there snow on the side of the road? It's hailed here. There's snow everywhere. Ice. Look. Right, it's the next day. I'm home. It was It was a fantastic day. I had such a good time. First of all, thank you to everybody that came and said hello. There was more. I couldn't get everybody's names, but I won't mention anybody's names, but because I will just forget someone, and that wouldn't be fair. But just had the best time talking to everybody that just came up and said, "Really like your channel." And in the future, if you see me and you know me and I don't know you, there's a good reason for that. This thing only goes one way. Say hello. Please come and say hello, because there's nothing I like better than meeting people that watch these videos. It's validating and it's encouraging, and it helps me keep me motivated massively. It stops me sleeping, because I at the end of the night after yesterday, I was buzzing. It was so good. We had a really good time. I hope you enjoyed the walk around the museum and the bit with the jumble sale itself. By the time I got the camera out, because it was a bit of a squash in there in the first part of the event, when everybody arrived, 10 a.m. the doors opened and everybody just kind of piled in there. And it wasn't appropriate to film at that point because it was just too busy, and a lot of stuff just disappeared. There was an Amiga 600 went one way, and others, bits and pieces going all over the place. No point in me having a camera out at that point, because I could barely move myself and I was on the lookout for some things to buy. So I decided to film after the rush had died down. There was still quite a lot of stuff left, but all of the interesting stuff most of the interesting stuff had gone. Some of the other guys with me had bought some good stuff as well, and it was worth going. It was definitely worth going. Now I'm gonna give some constructive feedback here, and I hope that the museum and the people that run things there see it, because I've been to 3 different retro tech jumble sales this year, one in Cambridge and one in Bletchley Park, and this one in the Northwest Computer Museum. This one could have been better organised, I have to say. I mean, it was great, but you need to have prices on everything. You need to have at least a starting price, even if people want to haggle with you at that point. But there were just 2 staff in the room, and there were however many people in that room packed in, grabbing stuff, and then wanted to sit a price on it. And that was just too much for the people that were actually giving out the prices on the spot and making up the prices on the spot as well. That was too much for them to do. I saw somebody else was buying, I think it was a ZX81 and a Kumana external disk drive. And I mean, look, I don't know the prices of everything, and if I was put in that room and asked to make decisions on the prices of things, I'm going to get some of them wrong. And that's what happened with that. I'm not going to say what the price was, but fortunately the person buying it pointed out that that was the wrong price and would negotiated a better price. It was still a slightly high price, but not like eBay prices. So that was the problem there that I could see. Everything else was great. Once you've got your thing, that you wanted to buy, you went up to one of the staff and asked them for a price. They would then write that down on a piece of paper that you took to the main reception in the museum where you paid for your item. Then you went back and you collected your item. But that's fine. But I think if you put the work in before putting prices, just stick a label on everything with a price, or have a list. Like Bletchley Park had a list with every item on there with a ticket. The ticket's still on my pet over here, with a raffle ticket on each item, and you could just go and look it up and know exactly how much that thing would be. There was also quite a lot of modern stuff. There were only, I think it's difficult for a museum because they need to keep things to display, but they also need to sell things to help with their running costs. There weren't as many of my area of computers that I was in, things of my interest. There weren't as many of those there. I don't think I even saw a ZX Spectrum. If there were some, they went immediately at the start. The only other Sinclair I saw two ZX81s, and I got one of them. So anyway, good event. Long way for me to go. I think I would probably decline the next time there's one, because it's just, you know, in hotel and traveling costs, it's going to wipe out any advantage I've got in buying something like that. But luckily, I'm kind of in a fortunate position to be someone who makes this into content that I can then earn some money out of, so I can get back some of my costs. It's, you know, and it's nice for me to go around a museum I've never been to before, and it's also nice to go to a different part of the country, get to meet a different group of people and some of my friends that live in that area as well. So what did I buy? And also I got some something off of Julian that we'll get to in the last bit, which is really weird. I mean, way out there weird. Like aliens did it probably. So I bought three things. I bought actually let's do this one. Right, yeah, so Mark Pitts and co. and collared me in the car park. I was saying goodbye to them because they're friendly people. And Mark came up to me and gave me £5 for the befriending scheme, which I will, you can check the Just Giving page, will have £5 in it when this video goes out. Thank you, Mark. That was really, really kind of you. So anyway, yeah, the things that I bought, this ZX81, an Acorn Electron, and a Commodore Amiga. Enough said? Yep, we done? Should we move on? No? You want to have a look at them? Okay. So the ZX81 that I bought, which has been opened, is run-of-the-mill, little bit tatty, might work, might not. But the thing about this is that it is the first rung on the Retro Ladder Challenge, and that's where this one's come from. I paid £20 for this, and I paid £30 for the Acorn Electron. This is also going to be a Retro Ladder Challenge thing item. So we've got the Acorn Electron at £30 is marked off. And it even says property of Northwest Computer Museum 0091, the 91st machine that they labelled. But no idea if this works. And if it doesn't, it will just make it more interesting, because then I get to build a Chris Mogwai ULA. One key's slightly browner than all the other ones here. Might just be dirty. I like the ting that you get from a Acorn Electron keyboard. Ting, 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 ting. But yeah, the label's in really good condition. That's the main thing on these. The case is slightly yellowed, but that is just showing its patina. Everything else looks okay. There is one thing that we need to know, and whether it's got a ULA in it. If it's got a ULA in it, then we're golden, I think. It probably work. And then we've got this thing. This was actually not from the museum. This was from Ian, who had one of the stalls outside in the corridor. By the way, I was chatting with Joe, the guy that runs the place, and he said that the next one they do, they're going to do in a bigger room, and they're going to have more third-party sellers in there as well. So that will, I mean, the room wasn't big enough for everybody. That's another concern that they're already addressing. So yeah, we've got this rat box. Now, I'm a little bit conflicted on this one, because in terms of the Retro Ladder Challenge, I've already got an Amiga 500. I mean, I've already got a ZX81, but I've already got an Amiga 500. This one, if this is an interesting thing to repair, if it's like a write-off inside, then maybe we will make this one the Retro Ladder Challenge one. But if it's just an Amiga 500 with a missing key and the brownest case and keyboard I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this isn't a white balance trick. Look, that's a white piece of paper there. You can see I'm not actually trying to fool anyone here with camera trickery. Yeah, if this is just a boring fix and a dirty case, I'm not sure. I might keep it for myself. It might go in the Retro Ladder Challenge anyway. It will be, I might have to repeat that level to get to the Amiga 1200. We don't know. let's have a quick look on the other side, because there's one thing I do need to know on this one, and that's if it's got a memory card in the trap door, because if it's got a battery in there, then we could be in big trouble. Pretty sure, yes, just an A500. I've not opened this, no, and there's no green as well. I didn't check. But yeah, Ian was selling this. It only cost me £30, and I just couldn't walk past it. It's, I mean, look at this side of the case. It's fine. Looks really good. But the other side is almost caramel. I mean, it's beyond caramel, that is. How has it got so dirty? But it looks intact. I mean, the case might be a little bit scuffed up in places, but it doesn't look terrible. I think it's going to clean really nicely, but it's going to be this horrible colour for the rest of its life. So I'm not going to open this one because I don't want this one to be spoilers for whatever video it ends up being in the future. But I do want to open this Electron. This is a good example of one. I reckon this was maybe a display one. It's got all its screws as well. That's a good sign. So maybe it's a display one that's gone faulty. It could have had some RAM that's gone pop. I quite like fixing Acorn Electrons, so I'm kind of interested if it is faulty. That's actually a bonus. I don't mind that. And that screw's just come out there with the plastic around it like it's never been taken out of this before. Okay. Well, I can't remember how to take these out. I think it's just, yeah, like that. So we've got, this is the first one, I think it's the first one I've had with a ULA in its socket like this. So if it isn't working, it's probably just going to need a clean of the contacts underneath there, which is not the worst thing in the world, but those, I don't like dealing with this spring. That's a horrible clamp thing. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong here. The power supply hasn't got any scorched diodes. The big capacitor looks okay. I mean, my one's got like a broken PCB on the power supply. It's a complete machine and it's got some cobwebs inside it. I don't think anybody's been inside here before. Nice. Excellent. Well, I've got ideas about what to do with the Acorn Electron end of, or rung of the ladder. So it will be interesting to see that unfold whenever that happens. It's not going to be for a while. Let's have a quick look at this one, shall we? It's always interesting to look inside. Oh, I don't think this one's been open either. Oh, red board. I like a red one. Look at that solder across there. It's all bubbled up. Oh, it's lifted. That's weird. One of the screws is missing. There's a screw here normally. I wonder if this was a kit build and they just didn't put it in. I don't think anyone's been in this machine before me. Oh, lovely red PCB. An 82 ULA, God, 1982 for a ZX81. Who was buying in 44th and 46th week of 1982? The ZX Spectrum was well released by the time this came out. Oh, look at these. This is amazing. All of these resistors and diodes along here are all stood on their tiptoes. It's brilliant. I bet this, well, the factory would not have done it like this. This is a kit build for sure. This is the one that I think I've seen that most likely is a kit build. Look at that. That is amazing. All of them. Even that capacitor at the back. Somebody didn't want to trim the legs. I'm really chuffed with this one. So what I'll do with this one is composite mod it. I will recap it actually, I think. This is going to be going for charity. So I'll change those two caps. I think they're both 22 microfarad, so they're not too difficult for me to source. Gonna have to be careful that I don't bend any of these over so that they touch each other. There's a diode there that's looking a bit wonky. Anyway, we'll do that when we come to it. So yeah, I'll composite mod it. I'll take the guts out of the RF modulator and replace it with a composite mod board, and you won't notice the difference. Be a couple of wires that come out of here, and that's all that you'll see. We have a broken 5-volt regulator, I think. Oh no, I think it's just like a stamp on the top of it. I thought that was a crater. The only thing that makes me think that this isn't a kit build and is actually, I don't know, is that tick there could be from the factory, but no, I don't think it is. I think this is a kit build. It's issue 3, 1981, issue 3. Yep, that one is going to be the first rung in the ladder. And the other things I'll do is I'll remove this memory and replace it with a 32K SRAM, wire it to these diodes, and yeah, that'll be its upgrades. I'm going to do some other stuff as well to add value to it. I'm hoping, especially with this being a later one, and it does look in really, really good condition, that the membrane is okay, because the original membranes are so much nicer than the ones that you can get now. They're just more sensitive. Clean it up, make it look pretty, give it a coat of wax, and sell it for charity. Well, not sell it for charity, sell it to make enough money to buy the next rung, which I still don't know what computer that's going to be. The other thing I got, the weird thing, is this. Not this. This is a Dragon 32 keyboard with its cable replaced with a nice DuPont cable. But this is the weird thing, which is a Dragon 32 case, which doesn't seem very weird at all. It's also got some PCBs there to recreate a motherboard. Now, this is a present from Julian Brown. It's got a nice new label on it, and he's offered this to me to build. Have I still got that handy? Well, actually, he gave me this ages ago, which is a reproduction Dragon 32 motherboard. Which way up does it go? Yeah, that way. Dragon Data Limited, issue 2, recreated and modified by Julian Brown. And this is a recreation of the original board. This one is a remixed version, so there's quite a few differences between this one and this one. So, well, apparently you can build this one up using all off-the-shelf parts. He also gave me this. I've put his name on it. This is a Dragon 32 or 64 power supply, and this is by the brilliant Grand Old Ian. And this is one of the essential things that you need, because with a Dragon 64 and Dragon 32 and 64, you've got the monitor connector is on the power supply, bizarrely. So you need power and video going through this board. It's not as simple as taking out the power supply and sticking a Meanwell in it. So this also uses all modern components, and that's going to be easier to build than an original Dragon 32 power supply. This I can make with easily, or mostly easily obtainable components. There's regular GALs and ROMs, and I don't know what these other things are, but there's nothing unobtainium. So I can make a Dragon 32. So he to encourage me along, because he wants to see me do this, he's given me this case and the keyboard, but he's also given me these PCBs as well. We'll get to the weird thing in a minute. I'm keeping you hanging on. This PCB is the same size as the original Dragon PCB, keyboard PCB. So I think that this one basically recreates the original one mostly. But I think it looks like it uses cherry switches, and these ones are not cherry switches. These are those weird ones that with two contacts that press together when you press. Come on, focus. When you press a key, they grip together. Let's put that on the right way up. I know how it upsets people. I don't do it on purpose, honest. So I think that's basically the same as the original, but there's also this one which is smaller, and I can't remember. He did explain why. I can't remember why. I think I don't know. I'm pretty sure they are both cherry switches. Do they line up? Does everything line up? Yeah, they are. I mean, they've got the big holes inside. So if I put this in here, one of them does fit in the original holes with the original, like that. If I put this one in here, the switches are way too low. So look at how high these switches actually stand up off of this board. They're really tall. So he's made another board. This one. Where's the other board gone? Oh, there it is. Ah, God, that's sharp. So he made this board, which I think is designed not to sit in the standoffs inside here. And this one, you can use some standoffs to stack this up to make it taller. And it's got holes, so you probably use nylon screws or something, screws nuts. And the other thing that this does, because now this is mounted in the bottom, this PCB is sitting high enough for cherry switches. But the other thing this one does is has a Raspberry Pi Pico position on it, so you can have USB out, so I can add a USB on the back of this and use this as a PC keyboard, which would be pretty cool. I like the idea of that. Anyway, I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to put this one in here for safekeeping, like that. Should we put the key on upside down? No, I better not, just in case it breaks. So I'm, again, still not sure what to do with this. I have 2 Dragon 32s already that I still haven't looked at on this channel. One of these 3, once this one's built, that could make a cool video and would make a really nice thing to sell for charity. But that's I think that might have to be a special case on that one, because if I'm going to populate this, it's going to cost quite a lot of money. Maybe the money that I would have spent on buying a Dragon 32 should be spent on buying all the components for this one. So this is going to be like maybe a side quest type of thing. So yeah, so that I'm not left in the lurch hundreds of pounds, I think I'll do it that way. Anyway, Julian, thank you so much. The weird thing, I almost forgot. No, this is going to be difficult. I was hoping that using a black light would actually show. Ooh. No, it does. Oh, I've just had chills. Right, so Julian handed me the box that this came in, and I opened the box up in the back of my car, in the boot of my car, while we stood in the car park waiting to go into the museum. And I opened it up and said, oh, great, Dragon 32 case, and oh, thank you very much. And I looked at it, and because we were talking about what good condition it was in, Julian was telling me that someone had got this and cleaned it up and everything, put a new badge on it, and that's all they did with it. And I was thinking, oh, there is one blemish on it. There's a line here, and then my eye was drawn across here, and I could see a H, and it's really difficult to see. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. Let's zoom you right down. But right here is a H, and next to it is an O. Now, I don't normally talk about my personal details online, but my surname is Hodgson. It's quite easy to find out. My surname is Hodgson, and the next letter is D, and the next letter is G, and then it gets a bit vague after that, and I'm convinced that actually says my surname. It's not a common surname. I thought by turning this black light on it, I might get it to show that name on here, but it doesn't show up very well. I can see it a little bit better in the black light, but not any, clear enough to show you. I forgot everything was still in there. Oops. But have a look on this side. Oh my God. Is there anything else written on here? Like, I don't know, I'm going to kill you in your sleep. What on earth? I might have to keep this one. It's got my name on it. Yeah, it was aliens. Well, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. I don't think I've ever seen anything weirder than that in my entire life. Right, yes, so thank you everybody for making a great day an even better day. And thank you, Julian, for the kind things that you gave me. And I will see everybody in the next one. Looking forward to starting this retro ladder challenge soon. Right, I'm very short on sleep, so I'm going to go and do some of that. Oh, I've got to edit this first.